Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to Rocket League News, the series where we talk about everything that happened the last week in Rocket League. And we got a lot to talk about, a lot of follow-ups from previous videos that I made, so a lot of good stuff coming your way. So without further ado, if you guys do enjoy, make sure you do hit subscribe. You guys can also follow me on my Twitter, and yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So first up, we have one from Joreuz and Dignitas, and Joreuz is officially on Dignitas now. I know a lot of people had thought that he was already on Dignitas, but you gotta remember he was actually just trying out with them. Joreuz, as we all know, is just a very mechanically gifted player, very good in the 1s and the 3s scene. He's been trying out with Dignitas basically since around the time of Spring Series. I forget exactly when, but it's been a while now, and they just finally decided that he's going to officially be on their roster, and yeah, they will be playing with him for RLCS Season 10 now officially. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be happy about that because Joreuz is just mechanically nuts, and yeah, it should be a really good roster for next season. Next up in the news, this is one for all the G2 fans. G2 Esports renewed their Rocket League Esports roster through 2022. So I know there has been a lot of confusion about this, and I know G2 released this article. I'll read you a line from it to help explain better. So this is an announcement that everyone's favorite players aren't going anywhere. The League of Legends, R6, and Rocket League teams all renewed their commitment to G2 through 2022 and beyond. Yes, every single player has re-signed. So it looks like now every single player on G2 has re-signed, and the roster doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. This is just one of the things we've come to expect from not only G2, but a lot of the bigger organization teams in North America. They don't make too many roster changes. We've seen that in the past with like NRG and Cloud9, G2 not making too many roster changes throughout their lifespan in the Rocket League esports scene, which is nice. I know a lot of fans love that. And yeah, looks like JNAP, Chicago, and Rizzo will all be together for another year, it seems. Next up in the news, I have an update on Psyonix just randomly banning people. For those of you guys who don't know, I've made videos covering how Psyonix as of recently have been banning people for seemingly no reason at all. A lot of people, ever since Psyonix implemented this new ban system of theirs, have been coming out on Twitter, in my comments, just in my DMs, everything that Rocket League or Psyonix had falsely banned them. People would open up Rocket League and see that they were just straight up banned for, not doing anything. People who had chat disabled, people who only scrim in private matches would find themselves getting banned. And Psyonix finally came out and said that they are working on a fix. I'll show you guys the post. Someone messaged Psyonix Devin on Discord. They asked if Psyonix is working on fixing the ban system so people don't get banned without reason, and he said yes. Okay, so even Psyonix know that this is a problem that they are working on. I'm still waiting to see what exactly Psyonix are doing, and I know a lot of people might actually interpret what Devin said differently. A lot of people might be saying, well, Ewok asked if they're working on not banning people without reason, so maybe all Psyonix are doing is just giving you a reason, and I don't think that's the case. I think that they are going to work on redoing their whole ban system because there is a huge problem right now with people getting just banned from Rocket League when they really shouldn't be, so I assume that they're going to do something to fix that, which is the big problem. Obviously, the ideal situation would be that Psyonix obviously improve their ban system and make it so everyone who is unfairly banned gets unbanned and maybe gets that strike off their account, because as you guys know, you're going to get a strike on your account and then you will get increasingly more severe bans along the way. But if you didn't deserve that strike in the first place, then hopefully they take it off those people's accounts. That would be the ideal situation. I don't know what exactly Psyonix has planned, but we'll see. Next up in the news, we're going to talk a little bit about Reddles. And some of you guys might know by now, but Reddles and AJ were trying out for Space Station Gaming and Psyonix. And a lot of people are saying, nah, no way that SSG are trying to make a roster change. SSG are one of the best teams in North America. Why would they ever make a roster change? But a lot of people have been resurfacing this post that Reddles made months in the past when he was talking about SSG. He said, LMAO, there are no mechanics on that team. Give me Arsenal and Sipical. And that was originally going to be the team for Tokyo, which, you know, Rocket League at the Olympics, which unfortunately never happened. But it looks like that Reddle's going to SSG is something that, you know, this isn't new. Apparently, it's been in the talks for a little bit longer than we might have thought. And for those of people who are still skeptical about SSG, at least looking to make a roster change, well, AXB is playing with a different team for one of the Rocket League community tournaments. So it looks like obviously there's nothing set in stone, but these teams are definitely, without a doubt, at least trying out others, you know, maybe seeing if there's a better fit. Potentially nothing happens, but potentially a lot happens. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. There's just so much uncertainty right now in the North American roster scene. Okay, where will all these teams go? I mean, I'm sure Reddles, as of right now, doesn't even know where he's gonna go. I mean, maybe he does, but it just seems like there's so much uncertainty right now, so many tryouts. You know, we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens to everyone. You know, it's just so interesting, so fun watching all these roster changes happen. And then also talking about Reddles joining SSG, who would he be replacing? Well, I guess if you guys have read this tweet, it would be AXB. In fact, AXB actually played with Illusion and Gyro for another tournament, so it's definitely something that's possible. But yeah, let's get right on to the next news. Next up in the news, some people might not care as much about this, but I know there's also a lot of people who are very interested in stuff like this. It's who will be producing RLCS. Dreamhack has actually partnered with Psyonix to help produce RLCS Season 10, or RLCSX, whatever you want to call it. We have this article. Following last week's announcement of a reimagined RLCS, Dreamhack has partnered with Psyonix to produce the competition. Now, I want to talk about why I actually personally do like this. It's because Dreamhack has produced a lot of Rocket League tournaments in the past. They produced some of the best Rocket League tournaments in the past. You know, I'm sure a lot of people remember the Dreamhack Majors. And one thing I really love about the Dreamhack team is that they care about esports. Okay, they really are into it. You know that they aren't just in it for the money. It's, at least that's what it seems to me. You know, they really show a lot of care when creating their tournaments, the venues, all that stuff. You know, the things that I've heard from behind the scenes were just a bunch of good things. They're good people. And, you know, I think this is a great partnership with Psyonix. And, you know, I expect good things from it. And, yeah. Now, some of you guys might already know this, but Psyonix have officially announced the departure of Dapper. A lot of people talking about how they needed a roster change. Well, they have. I'm pretty sure I talked about this in a previous video. And the Psyonix roster are going to be competing with AJ for the upcoming Team Beyond Net tournament. You know, so this could potentially be the new Psyonix roster for next season of RLCS Season 10 of Sathu, AJ, and Shock. And a lot of people might be wondering, well, what about Dapper? Well, we're looking mighty dapper this evening, if you know what I'm saying. Help us officially welcome @Dapper as our third for Charlotte Phoenix. So it looks like Dapper is going to be playing with Charlotte Phoenix for next season of RLCS Season 10. You know, obviously, Charlotte Phoenix was an RLRS team last season. They still auto-qualify for a bunch of stuff for RLCS Season 10 being an RLRS team, despite the whole format change. I know there's a lot of differences. A lot of people are confused with some of this stuff. You know, I made videos going over it in the past if anyone is confused, just kind of how the format of RLCS works. You guys could always go check those out. But yeah, Dapper will be on Charlotte Phoenix and can't wait to see how they play, you know, next season in RLCS. And then we're talking about FC Barcelona. FC Barcelona, obviously, after getting rid of Flakes, everyone's wondering who's going to be their third. Well, Barca Esports will be competing with the squad of Diva, Ranaki, and Itachi for the upcoming Summer Grand Prix. Okay, so it looks like Itachi has been looking good for Barcelona recently. They're still trying him out, and it looks like that he's rumored to be the official third player in the future. So definitely we'll see what happens with him. And then finally, guys, I'm going to end it off on a sad note. Eyeignite, and Eyeignite officially retires from RLCS. And I mean, if you don't know who Eyeignite is at this point, then you really don't follow Rocket League. I mean, the man's been in countless seasons of RLCS. Okay, the man's been in the game for just a long time, and you know, he's become almost a staple name in the Rocket League community over the years. I think his debut season of RLCS, according to his Wikipedia page, is Season 5. You know, because obviously I don't know all this stuff off the top of my head. but, he's been in it for years, and it's really sad to see him go. It's just like when Remco retired from Rocket League, just really sad to see players that have been around for a while go. And yeah, Eyeignite's officially retired, and I think that's everything for this week. We actually had a lot that happened, a lot that is happening, a lot of confusion with roster changes. Don't worry, I think I am going to make a video before RLCS Season 10 talking about every roster change that happened, just to catch everybody up to speed, because even right now, obviously so many rosters are just in the air, still in tryouts. It's a good thing we have so many community tournaments going on, just so we can, sort of get all these tryouts going. We can kind of see firsthand what's going on behind the scenes. I think it's pretty cool. A lot of times when there's roster changes, we really don't know until RLCS starts what the rosters are going to be. But now, because of these tournaments, we get kind of an idea, which is pretty cool. But yep, that's everything I wanted to talk about. Thank you all for watching. If you do enjoy, make sure to hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.